Getting into K-pop as a newbie can be very confusing for most people because you have to learn a lot of words. It's like getting into another word entirely. And if you have to catch up with what they're saying, you have to learn some words, some terms to be able to relate with some K-pop fans, because you would think they are talking the normal way, or maybe they are saying English, but their own English is different from your own English, is the K-pop English. So one of the words I actually struggled with was self-producing, because we as K-pop fans love, or let me just say, we tend to mix up self-producing with actively involved. The term self-producing refers to any activity that contributes towards the production of music done by an artist that is for their own release and performance. This can include music composition, lyric writing, because a lot of artists now, with the third generation, we had a lot of artists that contributed to their own music, and even the fourth generation now, we have a lot too that contributes to their own music, like production wise. And because artist performance has become such a demand now, it's like a demand from fans, that if you're going to be a K-pop artist, at least know how to contribute to your own music creatively. So we have people like that, and I think this is where the word came in. Like, the word has like a structure. It has a word, like a structure for it. An artist is considered self-producing when they do all the tasks regarding the group's activities, like producing, composing, writing, and let me say choreography. I think participating in all is actually a positive thing. It's like a plus for you as an artist, like it's like a feather to your heart, but that does not make or define who a good artist is. Personally, I think self-producing will mean they do it all. Like, some members contribute, let's say, to everything, but they don't produce album or songs by themselves. And this is where my problem comes in. I want to vividly say that there are no self-producing group in K-pop. Yes, we have actively involved individuals in the K-pop industry, and in each groups that we love, there are people that are actively involved in the creation of their music, maybe composition, lyrics, maybe choreography. Yeah, they are involved in it. But to tell me they are self-produced, they do it all, like, I won't agree with that. That is it. There are no self-produced group in K-pop, but they are actively involved individuals in K-pop. Like, when you take a look at the song credits of some of these artists, there are always multiple songwriters, multiple producers listed, which means they are not entirely self-produced. They rely on the help of many talented producers and songwriters. Even for B, which was the acclaimed BTS self-produced album, they had multiple producers and songwriters to help. And there is a difference between self-produced and helping and contributing to the production process. BTS members rely on help from external producers, songwriters, and just to call them self-produced is actually not accurate. I feel it's like a very big insult to those producers, so those composers, those lyricists that work behind the scenes for some of these artists that we love to create it. I feel it's an insult to them for you not to acknowledge them and keep insisting that your favorite groups are self-produced. I mean, artists all over the world do this. They use songwriters, they use producers, they use choreographers. That does not make them less of an artist or make them less talented, because this is the problem we have in the K-pop industry. When someone does not write his or her own song, or when they don't choreograph their own dance, or when they don't have a hand in the production, they are not producers, you tend to look down on them like, oh, they're not real artists. No, they are artists in their own sense. Some of these big artists we have in the West, actually, some of them do not write their own lyrics. Not every artist is a lyricist, or maybe a producer, or maybe a choreographer, can dance well or can choreograph steps. Not all of them can do that. So saying BTS, Stray Kids, 17, G-Idols, among others as a whole, are self-produced is not accurate. I'm sorry to say this to anyone out there. All three of these groups have one thing in common, and that is they're actively involved in the production of their own music. They make their own music, they write their own lyrics, which I applaud them for, which is something I actually like. It's like an added advantage to me. It's like a flavor for me when I'm looking at an artist and I say, oh, you wrote your own lyrics. That makes me more interested in you. But that does not make other people that don't write it less of an artist. Personally, every group I make an effort to listen to is by far, like to some extent, involved in their own music. Like that is it for me. It is really great to see artists producing music in the background, then performing in front of the artist. Like it makes the music more special and genuine. And when they come on maybe live or Weavers or Instagram and they share their production process with you, their lyric process, their thought process with you, you feel involved. That is great. Like I look forward to things like that because it's like you're taking me on a journey with you on how you came about producing this wonderful piece of art. And another thing I've noticed is that artists that are actively involved in the music are always really creative about their albums and the topic they choose to talk about. Like they have like this reflection of themselves in their music. Example of Stray Kids, some of them they show actually what they want to say, they pass it across with their music. And for BTS to RM, Suga, J-Hope, Jungkook, Jimin and V, even Jin, when they write their own songs, the songs they wrote themselves, you see them explaining it to you and you understand where they are coming from when they wrote that particular song. Most of these songs have great meaning to them. They have read the lyrics and they have understood every single word they wrote down and they can relate to it. Most of these artists are fun, enjoyable for the general public songs, but some of the songs that they wrote themselves are what really drew people closer to them. Nowadays, it's a given that, everybody in the K-pop industry wants to participate in their own music production process, which is good. But you telling me that they are self-produced just because they write their own lyrics and just because some of them produce, it's wrong. So that's where I'm coming from. That is my stance on this. They are not self-produced group in K-pop. There is no self-produced group in K-pop. And it's high time we K-pop fans give deals to producers that work behind the scene, lyricists that work behind the scene, songwriters that work behind the scene, even CEOs that work behind the scenes to make some of these things happen. Yes, I saw the example of 17. I'm very sure many people will tackle me on this about 17, that no, they're a self-produced group. They started writing their own songs from the scratch. Uzi learnt beats. Yes, they learnt those things. But did you really think they did not have people guiding them or people working behind the scene to make sure, okay, what they are doing is right? I know for 17, they have Boomzy as another producer on their team. So you're telling me that you are going to write off, or for BTS too, you are going to write off the existence of P-Dog because BTS members actually write their songs. Some of them produce too. Is that what you're saying? And that is the basis of my statement. They are not self-produced group in K-pop. They are wholly actively involved individuals that take part in the production of their own music, whether creatively or maybe through their songs, through the lyrics, to the production process, even through anybody that contributes to the cover page. You have an input to it. You're actively involved in it. That is it. And that's my stance on this statement. And I stand corrected if you have any other thing. And that's my stance on this. I don't know if you feel I'm not getting the context of what a self-produced group means. Then feel free to correct me or enlighten me in the comment section. And for those that have not subscribed, please endeavor to subscribe, like and comment on our videos. We have a lot of interesting conversations, interesting dialogues going on about things happening in the K-pop and the K-drama industry. Thank you guys, and until I see you on the next video, do well to stay safe, eat well, drink well, and watch a lot of K-drama. Bye for now.